Hello there. Welcome back. How are you? Good to see you. Good to have you here. So excited for our livers here today. I'm going to let TikTok do its thing. I'm going to hang out with you guys as I jumped out of one meeting early. Said, I want to come play with my people. So let's chat. Ooh, I know what I could be doing while I'm talking to y'all. Updating the cover to our latest book, Grant Secrets. I'm so excited to get this out and to share it. So I am going to be multitasking if I can. And let's see how this comes out. TikTok, are we playing or what are we doing? Sheesh. Lately, I don't know about these numbers, and it's taking a minute to let people know that we're here. Um, so I'm here. I'm gonna let TikTok do its thing now. There we go. Hey, Coco. So I'm gonna open the book here while TikTok lets you guys know that we're live again. Second time today. Might do a third. I don't know. But welcome. This is Black Women in Grants. Grants for Black women, for-profit small business owners help with finding and applying for grants. So if you're a business owner and you're a black woman and you can see grants in your future, you're in the right place. So come on in. Let's hang out. Let's chat. Say hello when you join us. I don't know what TikTok is doing, but I'll keep talking. So I'm here working on a book called Grant Secrets. So if you are seeking grants for your black woman-owned for-profit small business, you are in the right place. So I usually jump on here, share what I know about grants, answer some questions about grants, grants for small business, grants for black women, grants for profit small business owners. Here we are. So if you can hear me, put hashtag FYP in the chat. Hashtag, make sure you got the hashtag now to make it count. Hashtag FYP if you can see me. If you can hear me, hey, Eagle Eye, welcome back. How are you, girl? Hashtag FYP if you can hear me. Hey, put that in the chat real quick. And let's see, TikTok is playing with my emotions right now. I don't like it at all. But here we are. Hashtag FYP if you can see the screen and hear me. Let me know. So this is for black women for-profit small business owners who are seeking grants for their black woman-owned for-profit small business. It's all about how to find and apply for small business grants. If it's a grant that's a check, small business pitch competitions, contests, giveaways, bursaries, subsidies, sponsorships, partnerships, the list goes on, and I've won it all. I've won over $1 million in my personal life winning these types of opportunities. And now I'm in the business world helping you play the grant game and win. And I'm really excited about it because we now have 278 black women for-profit small business owners in our mentorship program over at www.blackwomeningrants.com. And it's a lot of fun seeing you guys win, seeing you apply, hearing about the lessons learned, seeing that you're looking forward to applying for more. It's a game, and when you learn how to play, it changes the game, right? So instead of going in blind trying to figure this thing out, especially if you've never applied for a grant before, you want to know that you're in the right place, getting the help that you need, getting your questions answered from people who are doing it and winning. So when you come in, put hashtag FYP if you can see me, if you can hear me. If this is your cup of tea as a Black woman, for-profit small business owner, if you want to be a part of the winning crew, we've collectively won over $168,000 in grants and grant-funded opportunities. So, it's a lot of fun playing this game. It's a lot of fun learning the rules. And this, again, is for Black women, for-profit small business owners. Even if you haven't started your business yet, you're welcome to be here. If you've started your business and you feel like, okay, I just need a little financial push, a little bit of somebody else's funds to help me go to the next level, this is definitely the right place to be. If you're seeking business grants or grant-funded opportunities, this is a conversation you want to be a part of. So when you put hashtag FYP in the chat, that gets other Black women involved in this conversation that need to be here. So let's try it out and see how it works. If you can hear me, put hashtag FYP, and let's see if the TikTok algorithm is still TikTok algorithming. But imagine if you won a grant as a Black woman, for-profit small business owner. And it's the day that you finally got that boost that you needed to get your business idea out into the world or to grow the idea. The way that you know people need you to grow it, because you know, A, your business is good, and B, your product and service works. You have a great business idea, you have a great product or service, and now you have a check to back it up. So imagine that you're on your way, right? Not only are you on your way in business, but you're on your way to the bank on this particular day to make one of the biggest deposits you've made into your business bank account at one time, at least this year. Like, can y'all imagine that? Put yes in the chat if you can imagine you got a check in hand with your name on it, your business name on it, you're on your way to the bank. It's the most money you've deposited into your business bank account all year. Can you imagine yourself having won a grant, and today is the day that you're literally financially rewarded with this grant money by taking it to the bank to cash the check or deposit the check? Can anybody imagine that with me? I got one person. Okay. So you're on your way to the bank. You're about to make this huge deposit. And you've been needing this. Like, you've been applying. You've been wanting it. You've been working hard for it. And it's finally here, right? And so because you've been needing this, you've been wanting it, you've been seeking out opportunities, you've been applying for funding, you have been seeking that financial support. Not only are you excited you got it, but you are excited that you don't have to pay it back. Ain't that our favorite type of money? Type me in the chat if that's you. If you love money that is gifted or given to you, you don't have to pay it back. It's yours. It got your name on it. It wasn't a typo. It wasn't a bank error. It wasn't a mistake. Someone had you in mind writing that check. Ain't that the best? Just like when you go shopping and it's not your money, the food tastes better, the clothes fit better, the shoes fit better. You just look better in stuff that you didn't have to pay for. That's how grant checks feel for your business. Anyone else can imagine that with me? Put me in the chat. Because when you get the financial backing from a grant, not only do you not have to pay it back, but now you have this money in hand to add to the money that your business already makes or will make. And you get to do the things that you need to do in your business. So in the chat, tell me real quick, what's one thing that when you get your grant check, not if, but when you get your grant check and you're on your way to the bank, what's the first thing that you're going to invest in? What are you going to use some of your grant money for? Now, keep in mind, we are imagining the day that we've just won a grant. We finally got that financial boost. We can finally get our business out into the world. We can finally grow the idea that we have. We know people are waiting on us. We know our business is good. We know our product and service works. We now have a check in hand. It's the biggest check that we've seen lately, maybe for the first time ever. It's definitely the biggest deposit that we're about to make into our bank account this year. We've been needing this money. We've been wanting this money. We've been seeking and applying for this funding. Now we finally got that financial support that we don't have to pay back. We're adding it to the money that our business already makes or will make. What's the first thing you're investing in? I see retail space. I see company vehicle. So y'all just driving from the bank to the lot. The commercial lot, the car lot. That's what we doing? Okay. Anybody else want to tell us what you're doing with your check? Let me know if, she said, yeah, let me know if you want to know some of the first things that's best to invest in. First, you cash that check. If you're a believer in investing 10% tithes, offering, making that sacrifice because, hey, stuff has been sacrificed for you, that's what I do. So I take 10% and give it back to God as a thank you. We call that a seed because you reap what you sow. So if I'm always sowing, I always got a harvest on the way, right? So we sowing that for the next one that's coming. The next grant got they 10%, right? Then, knowing me, and I'm just speaking from experience, I'm recounting my last time that I did this scenario. I remember I got up, checked the mail, and I'm like, oh, this is junk mail today. I got all these coupons and newspaper, flyers, blah, blah, blah. Little did I know, and thank God I was nosy to flip through the coupons that day because my check was literally in the mail. It was the size of a postcard, and I almost threw it away with the junk mail. It was a grant check. I wasn't expecting it to come in the mail. I was expecting it to be deposited into my business bank account. Either way was fine because I just went in the house, got my keys, got in the car, and drove to the credit union. And I went through the drive-through, deposited that bad boy, invested that 10% like I told you guys. I always invest in someone else's business. So if I've been following someone and they got a new book out or they just launched a course, I'm sowing that seed. That's my tithe. That's my pay it forward. I'm trying to think of the next thing that I did. Oh, so in my applications, I put that I'm also going to help my community with another 5 to 10%. So by that, I mean things like what we're doing over at blackwomeningrants.com. I keep a running scholarship pool. So we just add 5 to 10% of our winnings to that pool. So we've given over $55,000 in scholarships just for Black women to come learn about grants. There's a scholarship over there right now, by the way, blackwomeningrants.com. That's my 1 year mentorship to get coaching and mentored around filling out grant applications that stand out so that you have a higher potential of winning grants. So check it out. If that's something that you're interested in, we have set aside funds to grant you access to come hang out with us. It's usually $597 for the year. We got it down to only $97. So you get to come get some mentorship, get the replays of some events that I've hosted where I'm really teaching you the basics of winning these grants. And it's going into detail about how you can take your winnings and now use it for stuff for your business like marketing. Not just generic marketing, but let's say you're like us. We're a baby company when it comes to just getting on TikTok and talking about grants. We've been doing that for about a year now. We grew from 400 to 65,000 of y'all here on TikTok. Ain't God good and won't he do it? And so this past weekend, we just reached a new growth spurt in the business where we overgrew our emails. So we were capped at 500. We officially had to graduate over to a new marketing system, an email marketing system that holds at least 1,500. And so that costs money every month, or you can do annually. So that's something to factor into a grant, your new email marketing platform. And it's not just email marketing, it's a CRM tool or customer relationship management. So every time someone joins us in our mentorship over at blackwomeningrants.com, they get added to our email list that I send out once a week, sharing masterclasses on grants, how to find them, what to say when you apply for them, how to stand out on those applications, and how to win them. And so every week we can now effectively and efficiently and professionally send out this email marketing campaign because we graduated to that next level, and that's factored into our grant money. So even if you're paying, $50, $60 a month, you multiply that times a year. Now you have your total for how much in quote unquote email marketing help you needed from the grant. And that's a great reason to apply for a grant. Hey, we're growing and we need help with this growth. Put number 2 if you want another reason that's good to apply for a grant. A lot of people say marketing. I immediately think email marketing. Marketing could be, so many things. Marketing these days, I'm working with a coach now who believes that, you should have a book as a marketing platform. Another coach of mine believed that you should be marketing by postcards in the mail. Another coach believes in being active on social media and getting on video. Another form of marketing. And so all of these cost money. You either need the technology and the time to do it and be able to compensate yourself for that time, or you need the physical resources of the postcards, the shipping components, the coach to help you write the book, the printing of the book, the shipping of the books. All of that factors into marketing. So a lot of people say, I want a grant to help with marketing, but you have to get specific. So hopefully my examples are helping. Number 2 could be hiring new staff. How many of you here are paying yourself already in your business? Let me see. Let's do a quick poll. I'm going to try to put that up real quick. Let's see. Quick poll. There we go. If you are paying yourself in your business, there's a poll on your screen right now. Click the smiley face if you get paid because you're happy. And click the cry me a river emoji if you ain't paying yourself yet. Let's see. Who is paying themselves? I see one cry me a river. Who else is paying themselves? Smile and click the smiley emoji if you're paying yourself. Click the cry me a river if you're not. I see a second cry me a river. Love it. So if you're not on your own payroll, you need to add yourself into the grant. I'm not laughing, am I? I think the emojis are funny. That's why I'm laughing. It's like really crying. She said, don't laugh, sis. But if you're not factoring yourself in, it's not funny, is it, Samantha? She's like, don't laugh, it ain't funny. So what I am wanting you to do, let me test you real quick. What is your going rate? Like, think about how much time you put into your business, right? How much time you are building this business. You're serving your customers, your clients. Have you thought about how much you would like to get paid? Have you thought about your salary? If so, put it in the chat real quick. What's your salary that you would love to get paid? It doesn't have to be what you're making. It doesn't have to be something that you feel bad about. Put it out there. What would you like to pay yourself, courtesy of a grant, courtesy of your business, making this money? Anybody want to be bold and put it out there? Just put your number in the chat. Let's see who wins this one. Nobody? Okay. Well, you have to have a number in mind. You have to factor that into a grant. Okay, thank you, girl. She put 30K. So add that to marketing plus hiring yourself plus hiring other staff, right? So if you want 30K, how much do you want to pay your staff? So add that number together real quick and put that in the chat. So if you got let's say you got a paid intern, you can start at the bottom level is like an unpaid intern, but I still would love to pay them with like gas cards and food delivery services and help with textbooks or something like that if they're in university, right? But then after that, it's the paid intern. So even they get a salary. I remember one of my old neighbors, her company does a yearly summer program for, I think they're college graduates, but it's like 200 kids. And it drives her crazy because she's in the boomer generation, not understanding this newest generation of how they work. And they like to get paid. My generation, we did unpaid interns, but nowadays, interns are paid. So you have to factor that in, write them a check in addition to your check. You may go with a freelancer or a contractor or a part-time employer. Those are working your way up the level. And if you don't know how much they charge, do some quick research to see how much would it be to have, let's say, a virtual assistant on staff part-time, or a social media manager on staff part-time, or a freelance copywriter or website designer. So you have to have these numbers in mind when you're going in for grants, plus how much you want to make, plus how much, whatever else you're trying to get help with, like your marketing is. And that helps you to know how much you need in grants. So if I put it out there and ask quick, how much do you need in grants? What's your new number? Anybody can play. Just throw your numbers in the chat. Southern Bling says 12,000 unpaid, 17,000 paid first year. I see 50K. Got it. And even with this, it also helps if you can tell a grant, hey, I want to pay myself. Here's what I'm paying myself for. Not just because you're the founder of the business, right? Not just because you're the chief executive officer, right? Tell them what duties you carry out from day to day. If it's serving customers and clients, make that be known. And then if you're asking for an additional 12,000 or 17,000 or 50,000, then let them know what that entails. So if it's 12,000 for the unpaid interns, say, hey, I want to hire 10 interns. I want to give them 2,000 each in gift cards, in a scholarship for tuition, in food voucher, in gas cards. Maybe pay some dues to some clubs at their school, or, it's a lot. And I'm speaking from experience. I've done everything from write letters of recommendations for them to pledge business fraternities and sororities, to putting a full tank of gas, filling up their stomach, because I know what it's like to be a student. I know what it's like to be an unpaid intern. I also know what it's like to have a stipend. That's what we call a stipend. So if you can show a grant that I'm going to take $2,000 each, hire 10 unpaid interns. I know y'all didn't think about this. Ain't this fun? You was laughing because I was laughing. You was telling me not to laugh, but this is why I was laughing, because you didn't know. So yes, you have to factor them in, write them into the checks, and you probably have a better chance of standing out if you could tell an unpaid intern, hey, we're going to guarantee you $2,000 in gas for the whole time that you're working for me, in food or snacks. You know how I don't know why, but I just love seeing the TikToks where we get to tour like Google and LTK and LinkedIn and TikTok headquarters, and they have this big kitchen full of snacks. I'm like, girl, I would go crazy in there. They got the drinks and the coffees and the lunches so if you're feeding your interns, even if, like, one of the opportunities that I was blessed with was we were delivered Grubhub to our door. So even if you don't have a physical campus, I loved the idea of this, where we were sent Grubhub to our door and everybody was eating at the same time on camera on Zoom during our meeting. Like, that was just an eye opener for me. Like, oh my gosh, I never thought to include that into the grants. So if you tell a grant, I need $2,000 per person, I'm hiring 10 new interns, we're working from home, this is going to feed us for the week or the year or the time of the intern, everybody's meal is, $40-$50 including tips. Kids would love that. And I say kids, I just mean like 20, 30-year-olds because I'm out of that age range now. But yes, please feed me. We'll work for food. So between that and having gifts delivered in the mail, like you could factor in gift bags. Oh my gosh, this was my favorite part of like some of the summer interns that I've had on the business level over the last like 2 years, where I would get this big like subscription box in the mail. So I might have a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a coffee mug, a journal, some jewelry. I've gotten a self-care box. I've gotten a desk, new desk for my office, new chair, new filing cabinet, journals, pens, books. All of this was factored into the funding. And I was like, yes, ma'am, including the shipping. Somebody got to pay UPS and FedEx to deliver it to me, right? So when you think about that, that's making hiring new staff on another level. When you tell a grant that not only do I want to hire new staff that's going to help me with my social media marketing, going to help me with my virtual assistant duties, going to help me with my copywriting and my graphic design, I want to feed them, take good care of them, give them prizes and treats. I've written all of this into my grant essays and applications when I'm applying, because I'm always thinking of what I want to do for the people that serve me, you know. So these are just two ideas that stand out. There's so much more, like technology and hiring coaches and being able to pay for other business expenses that's going to help your business to grow. And you can show a grant that with their help, you will be able to do it. And so my goal with our mentorship over at blackwomeningrants.com is to make sure that you're thinking outside of the box. Ideas like this factored into your funding is why you get funding in the first place, because you're selling a grant on your vision to grow your business. You're not just saying, oh, I need inventory. Oh, I need a new car. Oh, I need a building for blah, blah, blah. You are showing a grant how you're reaching back into your community, how you're trying to help the economy. You may say, I want to hire an all women's team, an all minority team of copywriters and graphic designers and VAs, and here's how I want to take care of them. Can you help me meet this vision? And so you got to sell that vision. And that's what our mentorship program is designed to help you do. Really confidently prepare for applying for this future funding with this bigger vision that makes you stand out from the rest. You're not worried about competition. You're simply focused on your Black woman for-profit small business owner. And so I share my real life business grant application examples because this is why I get funding. And so I've had two grants that have written me checks recently tell me that. They said, we gave you the funds. We selected you as our winner because we can see your vision bigger than you. Like, I'm not even in the picture. Yes, my, revenue and everything is factored in, but I'm so focused on serving the people that my business is designed to serve in a bigger way. I'm so focused on reaching back into my community and bringing others along like you guys. And so they see that vision and they want to be a part of that. They're not just here to make my pockets fat, but they're here to make that vision bigger and do their part. What question can I answer for you guys about anything that I've shared so far that's really trying to help you bring your vision up, dream a little bit bigger? Because all of this goes into winning this free money for your Black woman-owned for-profit small business. And funding opportunities are everywhere. It's money out there. Yes, there's a grant for your business. Everything from, as I mentioned earlier, a check in the mail. You can get scholarships to go through business training and development programs. There's a program open right now that's partnered with the university. They let you in free because you're the founder of your business, right? So they're going to help you for 12 weeks for free to meet your biggest business goal. Then they pair you with an intern, like we just talked about. They've taken care of the cost of the intern for you. All you have to do is submit the job description, and they'll match you with up to 2 interns for free for a certain amount of time. You just tell them what you need the intern to do, whether they need to be somewhere physically or if it's all online. So again, I'm speaking from experience as to how this funding works. But you have to have the vision to sell and get the people on board that have written the checks. So this could all be a part of funding your business if that's a part of your game plan. This allows you to source that business funding outside of your personal network. I know people have told me before, I'm tired of paying out of pocket. I'm tired of spending my money. I'm ready to spend somebody else's money. And you also don't have to bother your family, your friends, your loved ones, and wondering why they don't support you. Because they're not meant to. This business ain't for them. This your business, boo. Thank y'all for sharing the live. I appreciate it. So let's take a minute and get some more women into this conversation. Southern Bling, blackwomeningrants.com is the website to grab one of the $97 scholarship spots to come join us for a year. www.blackwomeningrants.com is the site to go scoop up one of those spots. Also, share this live like Michelle is doing. Thank you, girl. Let's get more black women into this conversation because they ain't thinking like this for their business, girl. They don't know this is an option, girl. I'm teaching you guys what has worked successfully for me and also what is working for the Black Women in Grants that's in our mentorship over at blackwomeningrants.com. There are 278 of you guys. We have collectively won over $168,550 over the last few months. It didn't take us long to get here. We're definitely going to surpass the $1 million mark. I did that on my own already in my personal life. I've won over $1 million in funding and still winning. But I don't teach that. I teach the professional side. How to do it for your business. And I know that finding the right funding opportunities that meet your desired business budget goals can be a little bit exhausting, tiring, you have to exert some energy. It can feel like you're taking on another part-time job, but when you know the way and you do have people by your side to support you, you don't have to worry about getting overwhelmed. You don't have to wonder if you need to hire a team of people to do this for you, because you really can handle it yourself. That's what we've learned to do. It's a skill. And I would rather teach you that skill than tell you to try to get somebody else to do it for you, because can't nobody do your business, baby, like you, right? So if you've been wondering whether you need to hire a grant writer, the answer is no, because that's for nonprofits, but we will only work with for-profits, teaching you this skill that is transferable. We have one of our mentees is also helping her daughter use these same skills she's using to apply for grants for her business. The mentee is teaching the daughter how to use this to go apply for scholarships for school. So I'm teaching you the grant application process. Grant application and grant writing, two different things. Grant writing is like writing a thesis for your doctoral degree. That's why you got to hire a professional that does it. That's for nonprofits. For profits, it's like answering a series of questions about your business. It's an application. Who you are, what you do, why they should give you the money, why they should care. And the scenario we just went over with hiring a team, including yourself as a staff, paying for marketing, investing in that, and then going to deposit that check. That's as simple as the for-profit grant application process. But I break all that down. We did a 2-day business boot camp, and you get the replay in the mentorship over at blackwomeningrants.com. I really break down the difference between nonprofit and for-profit grants. One is easier / better than the other, and we do that one, which is the for-profit. So you don't have to be nonprofit to get a grant. You can be for-profit. I get the same money as nonprofits, and I know it because when I was in school, I received over $100,000 to go to school, and I remember working for a nonprofit as a part of the work study program, and I would check their mail. So one day they got a check from the same person that had written a check to my school that same organization was writing them a check. It was just a little bit bigger because they were an organization. So they got, we got the same money. They got 90,000. I got 30,000. I'm like, I'll take it. Because I didn't have a whole staff to pay. I got to keep all of mine and put it toward my education. And the car that I drive today was used for one of them checks. Same company. I'm just for profit. Ain't God good? Won't he do it? So yeah, the skill is transferable. And it's worth learning. You also don't have to, your business doesn't have to be making tons of money for you to start applying for grants. Some grants do have that as a stipulation. They'll ask, how much have you made? And if you haven't made that amount, just go find a grant that you qualify for to apply for. It's so much money out here. It's so much opportunity out here. It's already been funded. It's already been sponsored. It's in the form of these business training and development programs that have already been taken care of for you. You just got to know where to go. We partnered with 8 organizations like that. I went through their training programs. I went through a total of 25 programs over the last 2 years to help me get this business up and running, and to now have won over $63,000 in grants and grant funded opportunities. So yes, I do help you find. Now that's a good question. No one has ever asked that. I do help you find the right grants for you, because we send you 3 free lists of grants every month. So every month you get a list of hundreds of grants for you to go look through. Now they're right for you, because let me use this as an example. If you were to go today, do a search on Google and try to find grants for yourself, you will be forced with the dilemma of, is this legit? Should I trust it? You're going to be competing with white men, white women, and black men. When you let us send you the grants, you have 3 ladies on the team who are curating this, meaning they're already going out and looking for the information to bring back. And as a collective, we have a database, we have a spreadsheet, and we have a list of grants. You get access to all of that for free for 12 months as a part of the mentorship. It's built in. They share the link with me. I share the link with y'all. You just go and click it anytime. They're just refreshed every month, so you can see what new is on the list. And then you click individually, and you're going to see all of these grant opportunities, how much they are, the deadline, what they're for. And then you're going to notice the theme is they're all for Black women in business, Latino women in business, minorities in business, women in business. It's like bringing it together to make it make sense. And so they're being delivered to you, and they've already been sort of vetted, and it makes it a stronger lead for you in the grant space. So you're not guessing. And many of these grants I'm familiar with on this list already. They've been around a while, so they have a track record of actually awarding the money. They have lists of winners. And I wrote a book called Finding Funding. It's in the mentorship over at blackwomeningrants.com. And in it, I share with you how one of the secrets to knowing about the legitimacy of a grant, or if you should apply, if it's worth it, is to follow the track record of them giving the grant to people. Go look at the people who have won, and then follow their path. How did they win? What is their story? How does the grant tell their story for their business as to why they gave them the check? You can reach out to that grant winner, get some tips for applying. It's so much factored into this game, and you get to play it well when you learn the rules. And so I break all of that down in the mentorship. And again, the website is blackwomeningrants.com. I'm just getting started with my business, and I'm the only person for now. Got it. So make sure you add yourself to your hiring staff. Get that 30K. Bring on your interns to get help for that extra. Tell the grant that's what you're doing. And it's also a part of what we call your social impact, because you're reaching out into your community. I know for me, when I hire interns, I partner with with 2 local universities, and I go to their career fairs or their job fairs. They give me a booth at their festivals, and I scout. And the last time I did this, I took one of my coaching clients with me, because she knew my style And she was so good at discerning and picking up on like, oh, I think she would be a good fit. And so we picked my last intern together, and she was phenomenal. She was actually in school for dance, and she ended up partnering with one of Beyonce's dancers once she graduated with me. And I got to write her a letter of recommendation because of the work she did. She was so good, and I miss her so much. She's actually popped in and surprised us here on the live just to say hello. And we've been connected for years now. And so I share that because there are opportunities for you to get the right types of help that you need. And like I said, if you can show the interns and the schools and the grants that you're taking care of their children, I'm going to feed them. I'm going to put gas in their car. I'm going to give them a stipend. Let them work for me for 3 months over the summer. I'll write them a letter of recommendation. I've done grad school recommendations. I've done recommendations for sororities and fraternities, for scholarships. The best one, I met a young lady who had already graduated, but her dream was to become a school principal. And it just so happened that I had connections with my local Chamber of Commerce, who was hosting something called Principal for a Day. And I was like, no way, Jesus. So some kind of way, I wasn't even a member, but I knew I went to school with people who ran the chamber. And I reached out to them, and I'm like, hey, I got a young lady who's interning for me, and I want to reward her with Principal for a Day. Y'all need people to come and do this. I know everybody ain't gonna do it, so she want to take somebody's spot. I ain't gonna be there, but it's her dream to be a principal. And in exchange for her working for me, she got to live her dream job, and she was just in heaven. I was like, girl, I don't know how you do it, but she loved it. She got to put on her little suit, visit the schools, work with the kids, see what it took to be in her dream job, all because of the work she did for me as an intern. I reached out for a favor, and that was the favor that was delivered, and she just glowed from the inside out for the rest of her time. So imagine her having a pep in her step, knowing that she got a connection to her ideal role. She's finished with school. She just needed a contact and a letter of recommendation. I will happily give that for you for all of the work that you've done for me. So there's that. Those types of little connections, they're excited to be written into. You said I tried looking on the internet and I was defeated. Well, you got to make the decision to keep going forward. You know, there's a reason to give up every day. I was just asking God, why can't we quit? Why can't we stop? Then I had to catch myself because I was like, well, you could and be homeless. You could and be out there in the sun about to have a heat stroke, you know, carrying everything you own on your back. You could quit any day. I'm like, well, no, God, now I like how I'm living, and I thank you. So let me get on up and go do what you asked me to do, because when you put it that way, it ain't even that much. I'm sorry. Anything else you need me to do? Let me get myself together. So you have to make the decision not to be defeated. And sometimes it's just about taking a break, getting a reality check, you know, and seeing others who are praying to be where you are. So it's someone right now that's making the decision to go ahead and put that grant application in, go ahead and submit that essay, get on camera and do that video essay, you know, get in front of people, hundreds of people, and pitch that business. There you go, right there, right? You snap out of it real easy when you see how good God is already. We just need a little reminder sometime. But whether or not your business is just starting, or, you know, if you've already started, it's okay if you just have an idea. But even if you're in idea phase, or if you've already started, now is the absolute perfect time to be seeking out these business funding sources, especially the business training and development programs that come with the scholarships, the sponsorships, the partnerships. They've already been funded. And so having what we call a grant application process, which is, as I mentioned, stepping back, seeing what you need, setting that goal for this is how much I want, going in and doing your applications and telling the stories like we talked about. Here's how I will use the funds. Here's what it would go towards. Here's where your money will be invested. This is all the things that you should have lined up and ready to go as you're submitting applications. What questions y'all got? Any ahas? Any takeaways? Let me know. How much is what? You mean the mentorship? Because that's only $97 over at blackwomeningrants.com. That's for the whole year. Let me make sure I clicked update. Hold on one second, because I was working on excuse me, our website, and I'm trying to make it to where y'all can get to it easier. So over at www.blackwomeningrants.com, it is $97 for the whole year. Meaning from today to this time next year, you can be in the mentorship. There is Klarna. There is Afterpay if you need it. It's a one-time payment. It's a year-long access. Excuse me, y'all. I'm sitting in front of the fan, and it's got me coughing and snotting. But I'm happy to be here, Lord. I just want to clarify that. So $97. Regular investment is $597. But as I mentioned earlier, every time I win, I set aside funding for scholarships. This is a part of me sowing that seed back into you and your business, so you come in winning. So as long as funding is a part of your plan for this year, it's the place to be. We have 2 scholarships that are open over there right now. Let me double check. I don't think anyone has claimed it unless I just didn't see it come through because I'm not on that page. But you can get it while I'm live here with you to make sure you get access to the learning portal that comes with it. But this is year-long mentorship. It's 24 hours of learning. And what that means is we have videos, we have audios, we have a book, we have an app that'll read the book to you. And all of that factors into your learning time. And then I'm here with you guys live 3 times a week. Usually Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But I love doing pop-ups in the evenings lately. So you can come on here, get your questions answered about a grant that you may be seeking, about a question you may be stuck on. And I just, earlier today when we were live, opened my calendar for next week for those who have submitted grant applications and want me to take a look at it for feedback so that their next grant application will be even better. And so that's a feature to add on to the mentorship services. Do y'all have any other questions for me? I'm happy to answer those as well. So let me know. We were talking about something else. Let's see if I can remember. But yeah, the website is blackwomeningrants.com, www.blackwomeningrants.com. I usually put it in the chat, but many people tell me that they can't see it. I don't know why TikTok doesn't let it show. Let's see if I do it without the Debbie. That could be it, but I don't know. So Black, BLACK, women in grants.com. There we go. Can y'all see that? Let me know. But it's at the top of the page. It says click here to join the Grant Game Mentorship for only $97. And then it also says use this special link for scholarship and payment arrangement options. You can't see it. Okay. I don't know why it doesn't show up. I can see it on my end, but that's why I have to repeat it. Let you guys write it down. Can you see where it says Black Women in Grants? I just posted that. Does that let it show that? I took off the www. I took off the .com. Can y'all just see the Black Women in Grants that I just posted? Let me know. There's also a special link I told you about for the payment arrangements if you need it with Klarna and Afterpay. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. TikTok is TikToking, but I typed it in. It doesn't show it, but hopefully you guys can understand the site blackwomeningrants.com, and that we have two scholarships open there that lets you get in for the $97. It has the Finding Funding ebook that I told you about that has the 25 secrets to how I started out winning. And then I just finished the edits for this book you see on the screen called The Grant Game. We're going to add that. It showed up. Okay. And so, there's an app that'll read the book to you. So, if you're like busy, one of our mentees, Mia, found an app for us that'll read to us because she's a driver. And so she likes to drive and listen. So that's been very helpful to a lot of people who are on the go. You can still get your reading done, take your notes as you move through the program. And then we have, as I mentioned, the replays of our master classes, our boot camps, and our 2-day virtual event that we did. And you get to go in and take notes. It's really good because we're talking about, like I mentioned earlier, the difference between nonprofit and for-profit grants and what both processes look like. So you can really understand the differences in how we get the same money and be happy that you're on the for-profit side. And it shows you how simple it can be for you to do this yourself, so you don't have to hire it out at all. I mentioned that you get 3 lists of grants every month to go through, read, make sure you qualify for the opportunities, and then submit your applications. And then how to use things like AI. If you're struggling to write your essays, there's certain commands that you have to engineer the right prompts. I love using AI on my applications because you can't tell it's AI. It sounds just like me, but you have to program it to do that. And the last time I used ChatGPT to fill out a grant application, I was selected out of 500 applications earlier this year for a $50,000 opportunity. So those tools are available. And again, that's a skill, definitely transferable, but there are some magic tweaks that you got to do to make it work how you need it to work. And I spill the beans on how I do this, how I'm applying what my week looks like when I really just put everything to the side, sit and focus for 5 whole days on finding the right grants for myself, submitting the application, and what that looks like. The highest grant I've seen so far is for $1 million. And then we had Deanna Joy. She's won $76,000 so far. She's on the blackwomeningrants.com site. She just applied for her first $1 million grant. Yep, so that's the highest so far. And so, but you also have to read the fine print because there's a $100,000 grant opportunity that's out there right now, open for Black women small business owners. And in their fine print or their terms and conditions, they'll tell you how they're going to break down the money. And so, some people see it as like, oh, I get a check for $100,000, when really the first place winner is getting $50,000 and the rest of the people are getting, they have to divvy it up, $12,500 each. So $1 million opportunity may not mean a full $1 million check. It may mean that the grant as a whole is giving away $1 million, but they present it as $1 million opportunity. But if you're not familiar with the grant game, you wouldn't know that. And a lot of feelings get hurt when they thinking, I'm about to get $1 million check, not realizing it's 1 million people that's going to get $1. You see? So you got to read the fine print. But I teach you, that's one of the first classes we do together that you get the replay of me teaching you. Because there's a grant, I think it's still out for this year. I remember seeing it recently, but it's for $25,000. It's from a Black-owned hair care company. And I think it's specifically for Black women. But when we break down the terms and conditions, you start to understand what all of that really means. And you want to go in knowledgeable, knowing the rules, knowing the regulations, meaning how they're going to regulate these funds. And it's legit. It's legal because they tell you in the fine print that most people don't read. So You just have to have the knowledge of how to play the game, and that's what it's all about. That's what we teach you in the Grant Game Mentorship over at blackwomenandgrants.com. My favorite part of the mentorship is that we interviewed Deanna Joy, the one I said just applied for her first $1 million grant. She's won $76,000 so far. She just helped one of her coaching clients upgrade their technology to all Apple products thanks to a grant. How cool is that? And I put our interview in the mentorship where I'm asking her questions about what she did, what she said, why she thinks she won, what she thinks y'all need to do to be like her. And then we have another Black Women in Grant mentee. She is on her way to bigger things. She's won $9,000 so far in grants and grant funded opportunities. She created something called the Grant Tracker template, and she offers it to you in the mentorship so that you can keep up with the grants that you're applying to. And she gives you the links to the grants that she's applied to, and you can go apply. So we got all of these resources, from the app that'll read the book to you, to the grant tracking worksheet, to the interview. Everyone that is doing well has contributed something. Remember, we talked about paying tithes, putting seed in the ground, paying it forward, helping your community. We are that in action in the Black Women in Grants community. These are sisters who have given back resources to help the next person coming in. And so it's not just me giving, it's everybody that can. It's paying it forward some type of way and helping the community as a collective. And that's my favorite part. So every Sunday I send out an email as well that features a quick mini masterclass that's going to teach you some new part of the grant game that you probably hadn't thought of before. So all of that is in the course. The course itself, and I call it a course, but it's the mentorship program, and it's worth over $5,000 because of all of the learning we've done. Everything in it, I've done it separate, and everybody that came had to pay separately. So this is what they've paid on a separate scale, but you get to get in for only $97 for the full year, which makes it even more valuable. So again, the website is www.blackwomenandgrants.com. Any final questions before we wrap up? I just wanted to jump on here again. I was on here earlier today. I went out in that Atlanta traffic, Atlanta heat, came back stressed. Had to cool down, have some good lunch. I brought some Chinese food back with me. And what else did I do? Oh, I was supposed to be in a meeting, but I left that meeting early to come hang out with y'all. It was boring. So I was like, exit, stage left. Goodbye. What is your question, second grade boom? Go ahead and put it in the chat. If anyone is over at blackwomenandgrants.com getting your scholarship, let me know. I'm happy to help you get logged in and make sure you get access to the learning portal. Southern Bling, there's no way to reach out to me unless you're in our mentorship. So just keep that in mind. I don't want you to be disappointed. But my mentees have my phone number and they have my email address. And as long as it's about grants, we have conversations at different times. What's the percentage of the members who have actually won grants? I just shared our 3 that have reported. 4. Everybody who has won something is featured on the blackwomenandgrants.com site. So as we know, everybody's at a different part of their business. Everybody's at a different part of the program. Your results will not be the results of any other member in that program. Your results won't be my results because you ain't going to do the work that I do. And everybody else is doing a different type of work, putting in a different type of amount of work. So the people who have reported to me recently are all featured on the blackwomenandgrants.com site. So if you want to go figure out the percentages, blah, blah, blah. Because that, to me, it doesn't matter, the percentages of members who have actually won grants. What matters is they got access to the program. They can access it when they need it, when they're ready to apply. Because as you've even seen on here, some people say, I don't have a business yet, collecting information. So some people are still collecting information even though they've paid for the information they're collecting. So I don't speak on behalf of all 278 members. In my world, that's impossible. Because as we know, life be lifing. Everybody's in different places. What I do when I join programs like this is the numbers don't matter, but it matters that I go in and do the doggone thing. Let me give you a perfect example. There's a multi-millionaire mentor that has, she released a book 3 years ago. She sold 100,000 copies. She has another book that she just released this week. She was in my city of Atlanta yesterday. I found out about her latest book 2 days ago. I ordered it, listened to it on Audible before anybody in my city had their hands on that book. That's number one. Show you how I'm going to go get her, right? Number two, her program is a year long. I did a small business pitch competition. I won $500 from that competition. I invested it in joining her program that was supposed to take a year. I finished in 90 days. There are thousands of people in her program. I'm the only one out of thousands that just did what I just walked you through. So her percentage of members who actually do the work, I don't care. I'm there to get what I'm there to get. I'm going to be the star student. I'm going to stand out. And it ain't going to depend on her success rate or nobody else's. If you telling me you got a program that's laid out for me and all I got to do is walk step by step, I'm about to go get it because I want it. But if I sit and compare myself to, well, only 10.2% of people who join, actually, no ma'am. You will never get nowhere doing it like that. So hopefully that helps. That's the mindset I'm in as a coach. Therefore, that's the mindset that my mentees are in. So if you stuck on percentages, this probably ain't the place for you. But if you going in with your, what you call them, blinders on, where you got tunnel vision, and you like, she said it's 24 hours of learning, I'm about to go read this book. Check. She said I need to watch these 3 videos. I'm about to do that. Set down 30 minutes a day for how many ever days. Check. So this is what I do because this is what I was taught to do. And I'm just sharing that. I know you're not, I know you ain't trying to be funny, and neither am I, but I'm just answering it from a coaching standpoint because I know some people do get caught up on numbers, and you're free to. Like I said, you can go do the math if you want to. It's 278 in there. Everybody's got in on a scholarship. We've given away $55,000 plus in scholarships. And those who win and come back and report, those are the numbers that we keep up with. Because other than that, how would I know unless they tell me, So hopefully that helps shed some light on what people are doing, but also encouraging enough to say, you know what, I'm going to be the Deanna Joy. Because right now, Deanna, she was on here earlier with us. She is the reigning queen of having won the most. So my goal, because I'm competitive. I don't know about y'all, but if you tell me somebody is the reigning queen of something, be like, how much she won? Okay, she just applied for her first $1 million grant. Let me go find $2 million grants to apply to and come back and brag on that. Me and Deanna gonna be neck and neck. Like, I'm taking home the prize, okay? And so I do this in the grad space too. We are partnered with a program that was, I think they just closed their applications last week. They were looking for 50 women in business to give a scholarship to train for a year in their business membership. They're partnering with Office Depot, Office Max. So they've already had checks written to them for their business, and they're paying it forward by, letting some of our people in the program. So I did their program telling them about you guys. Like, oh, I want to help Black women win grants because I've been winning. 6 months later, they were crowning me Entrepreneur of the Year. There are 4,000 women in that program. I took that crown, babes. I was like, oh, I'm winning this. And they were trying to keep it under wraps and keep it a surprise, but I already knew. I could tell how they were talking to me like, I'm about to win this. And so with that came a $500 grant shopping spree from Office Depot, Office Max, where they funded. I had fun. I went and bought a business book bag. We bought some flash drives to share this new book that you see on the screen with some of our private clients. We bought some tumblers, and I got some space heaters for my home office. I just had a lot of fun shopping in that store, going from store to store here in Atlanta and filling up my car with whatever could fit. I drive a little 2-seater Honda. Both of my cars are 2-seaters. But honey, they be filled to the brim like they a truck. So Office Depot did us great. So did this program. And they sent me some stuff that I couldn't fit in my car. I won one of their giveaways for their desk, their chair, and their filing cabinet. And then they sent me some office accessories, little decor, journals and pens and stuff like that. So sometimes the funding is built within these memberships. And I shared about them because they're one of those. They also do a small business pitch competition where you can win $10,000. And it ain't no joke. So all of that excites me to be connected to people like that, but also to see how, a lot of people begin programs like this with the intention of, I want to do this program, but they mostly, just let life get in the way. Or as we was talking about earlier, start feeling defeated or overwhelmed, etc. But here I am. I'm about to just zoom on past. Girl, you better come on, girl. And that's just how I am. So I've completed all the programs that I recommend to you guys. I've completed all the steps that I show you how to do. And now we have women doing it for themselves and their business. And my goal is to be right here cheering you on. And making sure that there's no barrier, especially when it comes to money. So making sure that the scholarship price is given to those who need it. And then, like I said, everybody that started out with us, they paid individually. And so it's definitely not all $97. People have paid so much more for our extra classes and stuff like that you guys now get access to complimentary, if you will. So you can tell I love this, right? I've really sat and thought through this process, making sure that there were no barriers to entry, because we have enough to deal with just being Black women, just being small business owners, just looking for funding. And so the easier and clearer we can make it to get our businesses funded to the next level, I'm for it. My favorite emails to get is the people who have won scholarships or applied for opportunities they didn't know they qualified for. Like Estee Lauder, they did a grant with a program I completed last year, and now they're paying for a whole summer for some women in business to get some coaching and mentoring. And one lady, I didn't even know she applied, but because I shared the opportunity, she applied and waited till she got in and then came back and told me she got in. And I was like, girl, you should have told me. I could have, told you who to go talk to and all that. So just knowing that by sharing this information, somebody ready to scoop it up, that warms my heart. That shows that there's a need for what we do. Hey, pound cake. Are there any other questions before we go? Let me know. And I'm happy to answer your questions. I'm trying to think if it's too late for a nap. It's the perfect weather sitting here in front of this fan and under the AC. And it's real hot outside. So I ain't going nowhere. In the house for the day. I already did my errands, thank God. But you're welcome, Southern. Y'all got any other questions? Any aha moments or takeaways? Did you learn anything today? I know the conversation got very interesting when we started talking about how to factor in the staff, honey. Pay them unpaid interns, stipends, So I know we talked about a few things here today. I know she says never too late. Girl, I will sleep all day, wake up it's nighttime and go right back to sleep. So I try not to overdo it, but it's only so much you could do in the house. I'm not really a TV person. I'm TikToked out. But I also need to do dishes. So maybe I'll do that and earn my nap. Oh, I know what I was doing when I came on here with y'all. I was also updating the cover of the next book we're about to release. Let me see if I can find it. Lord. She said, I never thought about factoring. I know. Wasn't that good? So we talk about a lot of that in the mentorship and in the classes that we've already done, the trainings you guys get copies of. Because this is where these ideas come from, honey. I've been talking to y'all for the last year here on TikTok. And it's so many people that have gotten scammed out of what they thought were opportunities, even thinking, they were hiring somebody to do this for them. But because they didn't even know what it entailed, they couldn't tell they were about to get taken advantage of. So I make sure to walk you guys through how to avoid all of that and develop that skill, because it is a skill, knowing how to kind of evaluate these quote unquote opportunities and make sure you're making the right investment. So hopefully something I shared stuck out, made sense, got you thinking, because that's what it's about. Oh, I think I'm going to print this. I got color ink. So I've been playing around with it. I think I'm ready to print. That's my favorite part of the book writing process. When you get to see it, it's like come to life. Yes. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do this weekend. I'm going to play around with printing this. And okay. Last call for questions and I'm out. If you're new here, hey girl. Thank you, girl. It's like a book and a half. One is shorter than the other. So the one you see on the screen is like 100 something pages, but the one I'm about to print is like 40 something pages. I let my coach talk me into doing another one. So here we are. So I'm gonna do the small one first, because if I try to do the bigger one, I end up spending like $50, $60 just to print it out. So we ain't gonna do that yet. I know. Oh, you talking about me or you talking about my coaches? Because I got some good coaches, but I'm a good coach too. So I'm gonna assume you're talking about both the rest. So thank you. Thank you, girl. I appreciate y'all. Well, thank y'all for hanging out. I appreciate you being here. I look forward to having those of you who are joining us in the mentorship over at blackwomanandgrants.com to come on and claim your scholarship. Until we meet again, my friends, you guys have a phenomenal rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye, future grant winners.